And the title of our talk today is The Power of Self Talk. This is one of my most favorite topics. We're going to be talking about self talk over the next few episodes because this is so integral to our whole well being, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. It's the journey of our dreams and the life we're creating, the life that we want to live. Imagine being able to do that just every day, do just that. Imagine being able to talk to ourselves and talk ourselves out of stress, out of worry, being able to talk ourselves into our purpose and values every day. Imagine getting up every morning with a smile on our face because we feel whole and complete. Imagine that. Now, whenever I say imagine that, where is that happening? That is actually happening in our thoughts. And remember, when we self talk, that is happening in our minds. Sometimes we self talk and it's not audible, it's happening in our head. In the last episode, we talked about defining ourselves versus allowing others to define us. And all opinions matter. We need diverse perspectives. We need others' input, but not at the risk of losing who we are. So let's come back in a moment and dive deep into this conversation. Have you ever stopped and listened to the thoughts in your mind? Have you ever stopped and listened to the noise in your mind? Do you know what that noise is? That noise is us talking to ourselves. There is an inner critic in there. There is a friend in there. There's a narrative that's going on in there. There's processes that are happening in our mind that informs our decisions. Did you know we talk to ourselves more than we talk to anybody else? Did you know that on any given day, there are about 60 to 80,000 thoughts that run through our minds? Imagine that. Did you know our thoughts control our tongue, our actions, our inactions, our responses, our reactions? Did you know our thoughts dictate the way we live our lives? Self talk is that internal dialogue we have with ourselves, and it plays a significant role in how we shape our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors. The power of self talk lies in its ability to influence our mindset and our overall well being. So, here are key points that I want to share today about what the power that rests in our self talk. Number one, it boosts our confidence. Positive self talk can help our self esteem and our confidence. It helps us to affirm our abilities, our strengths, and it helps us build a more positive self image. This is the power of self talk. There is a thing called negativity bias because that is where we go. We default to what's going wrong versus what is going right, versus accessing the power of positive self talk. Because you get the positive self talk and you get the negative self talk. So when you access that positive self talk, that's when we boost confidence. The second point that I want to bring to your attention is, do you know positive self talk reduces stress? Engaging in constructive self talk can mitigate any stress by just reframing those negative thoughts and promoting a more balanced perspective. Something like, I'm not good enough. That's a negative thought. And that thought happens to everybody. I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't do this. I don't know if I can perform here. If we turn that around, we could say, I can do this. I have everything inside me to do this. And it doesn't matter how it turns out, as long as you've done your best. Your best is your positive self talk. The third point is it improves our performance. Whether we athletes or professionals or students or whether we're a mother or a father, a friend, a partner, all these positive self-talk conversations we have with ourselves, it enhances our focus, it enhances our performance, it encourages we encourage ourselves, in fact, to lead better outcomes with the different things that we're doing. For example, when I'm on the golf course, if I don't have a positive thought, or if I just had a bad shot and the next shot is determined by the previous shot, I know for sure that next shot is not going to be great. I have to reset. I have to be able to abandon what just happened and believe that, okay, what's in front of me is going to be better. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be better, but I'm training myself to think positively until I get to a place where that positive thinking infiltrates my whole being. The fourth point is it enhances our self resilience, just resilience. When we have positive self talk, um, it fosters resilience by helping us cope with setbacks and challenges. For example, if you're going through a tough time in your relationship or a tough time at work, being able to say, I've done this before, I can do it again. I've I've addressed this before, I can do it again. Or focus on what the outcome is. This is what I would like to get out of this conversation, and then being able to recenter and refocus. It helps us with setbacks. Um, in relationships, it's the same thing. It's tough, it's tough, it's tough. Yes, we know. But being able to say, right, here's this person in front of me, whether that's your friend, your partner, your spouse, your child, whoever that is. You say, here's this person in front of me. We have a challenge right now in this relationship. What can we do to move our relationship or this conversation forward? Is it worth going over and over and over what is not working versus let's talk about what we do well, what can be better? Having a proactive approach to problem solving and being able to persevere. This is the power of self talk. The fifth point here is it shapes our behaviors. The way we talk to ourselves influences our actions. Positive self talk encourages proactive and constructive behavior, while negative self talk can lead to self sabotage. We just go down that rabbit hole and we can't get out. The longer we stay in that negative place, it gets more and more tough to get out of it. So remember that the longer you stay in a negative place and negative self talk, the more difficult it is to pull yourself out. We self sabotage. The sixth key point is, and we know that, with after COVID, just mental health is such a big topic and it's come to the surface. So it supports our mental health. By consistently practicing positive self talk, it reduces symptoms of stress, of anxiety, of depression, and it promotes a healthier, more optimistic outlook on life. That's the power of self talk. And here's a final key point it facilitates goal achievement, things that you want to achieve in life. By setting a positive internal dialogue, we stay motivated and we stay committed to the things, to our goals. And, it also helps us to overcome obstacles along the way that may take us off course. So just being able to stay focused on our goals, just by being motivated and being committed, understanding this is why I'm doing it. This is what value it brings to me, to those around me. This is how I live my purpose, and this is how this is serving me. This is how it's serving everybody else around me. This is the power of self-talk. So developing positive self talk involves awareness and practice. The more aware we are, and the more we practice it, the better we get. And that could be affirmations, it could be mindfulness, it could be how we restructure how we're thinking, so that we have a more empowering self talk dialogue. That's how we keep dreaming. That's how we want to reimagine life. That's how we want to create all our new stories. Because these new stories are our new thoughts that we create. And those thoughts shape how we live and see the world every day. Like I always say, your story is changing, and you are the storyteller of your story. I always say to you, what you tell your brain is what your brain remembers. What do you want your brain to remember? So, being able to tell yourself the same positive story over and over and over again becomes a thought that is now solidified in our thinking. Here's what really matters: who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. So please go ahead, click or drop in the chat a positive thought, or a self talk that you have and that you say to yourself on your journey. What is that one thing? Let's continue this conversation over the next few episodes. Powerful declarations are inside of you, and they are waiting to be manifested. Time to change our lives and change our minds. Until next time.